baby. If you really want it.
See, you can sing.
No, I can't.
Y'all, I've been trying to get Danielle to do an episode where I give her a singing lesson and we actually work a song. So if you want to see that, comment down below. I'll even pull it on Instagram, and if you want to see it, let us know.
Don't participate in that comment.
You try to tell me that you can't sing, but you can carry a tune. I hear it in your voice. It needs training.
You like that high note? You want me to hit a falsetto?
That was not falsetto, but work. I was going to say, it just needs to be trained. It's a solid start. The voice just needs to be trained. That being said, welcome back to another episode of Oh Bitch. You didn't say oh bitch that time.
I screamed.
You didn't do anything. Welcome back to another episode of Oh Bitch. I'm one of your co-hosts, Zach.
I am your other co-host, DD to the Danielle.
Okay. Spicy. I love it.
Danielle!
Speaking of spicy, today on the podcast, we are going to be talking about the defamation case that has gotten the whole world's attention. As of last week, after 6 weeks of constant
back and
deliberations
forth,
and back and forth, and all of just the entire proceedings of that case, we finally have a verdict, and we've been following it. I know y'all have been following it, thanks to TikTok, YouTube, all of the things. And let's sit down and talk about some moments, shall we?
Yeah.
Awesome. Join us, y'all. Here we go to talk about defamation. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Alright, y'all. So, to recap everybody on exactly what was at stake in this case, Johnny Depp, by virtue of settling the case in the state of Virginia, sued Amber Heard for defamation at $50 million. Amber Heard countersued him with at $100 million. After 6 weeks of proceedings with a jury, they deliberated and reached a verdict that Johnny would pay out $2 million in damages to Amber Heard for defamation, and Amber Heard would pay out $15 million in defamation to Johnny Depp. We've been watching. Danielle, what are some of your most interesting moments of what you saw from both sides of the aisle in this case?
Okay, first of all, I just want to state, I don't like Amber Turd. I'm going to call her Amber Turd. I don't like her. I just think that she's just dumb as fuck. I personally love Johnny Depp. I think he is amazing. I think he's a sweetheart. Obviously, I think that there were definitely some things that, were a little skeptical. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm all on Johnny Depp's side. Now, couple things. I do have to say that Johnny Depp's, was it the psychologist?
Yes, the psychologist. The woman about the muffins? The muffins.
She was fucking fantastic. Fantastic. She was just spitting facts. That's a bad bitch right there. She was amazing. So I loved that little interrogation moment. And I do have a little bit of a question because I'm a little confused as to... There was somebody, and I believe it was off of Amber Heard's side. And he was he's not a doctor. Maybe he was a psychologist as well.
He was a psychiatrist or
somebody in that field. And it looked like he was on some type of drug.
Yeah, so actually there was a lot of work done, and I read through a lot of comment sections and a lot of things on that particular client. There's a lot of people who at least what I read online, there were a lot of people who basically claimed that he was not credible in his information of Amber Heard. They also kind of said that there's a lot of psychologists or people in that field, again, through these things that I've been reading, and there were actual people in the field who commented on this. He's like, there's narcissists in the field and people who get to a certain level of education that they just even hold their opinion as fact. So it got to the point where what he was saying wasn't even credible because... And then also he was fighting the other side. He was fighting the other side when questions weren't being asked. And I was like, you're not making yourself credible at all.
It was weird. Definitely everything he said, there was no credibility to it. But I just the face, there was one... Honestly, I do have to just say one thing before I continue. I fucking love Instagram and TikTok because the way that every day there was just a funny meme or a funny video or a funny recreation of like the whole fucking trial killed me, okay? Like, fucking killed me. But it was just weird. Like, there were some moments where even Johnny Depp, like, you could see he was like laughing and smirking, and he's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Because he was like going like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it was weird. Like, it looked like he either did some cocaine or some heroin or something.
I mean, I hope not, because he wouldn't be allowed to be on the stand if he was.
That's what I'm saying. It was just weird. It was just very weird. So that is very up in the air for me, and I really want to figure out whether he was on something or not.
I would say no, because he couldn't be in the chair if he were.
You have no idea. You don't know. You don't know. It's just like lying. Somebody can sit on the stand and say, I swear to not lie, but look at Amber Heard.
You make a good point. Come on, lawyer.
Come on, sis. Come on, Camille Vasquez. Do you need...
Can we have a moment?
We can have a moment.
I want to have a moment for that woman, because incredible display of just like talent.
I agree.
And ferocity and integrity and just professionalism. Like, the way that... One of my big moments with Camille Vasquez, there's two that come to mind. When she caught Amber Heard in that lie of not having donated her divorce settlement of $7 million to charity.
Yep.
I was like, this bitch means business, and it's over for you. Like, if this is where she's beginning, I don't want to know where Camille Vasquez ends. Because she's dragging you through the mud. So that was hilarious. And then the whole, I used pledged and donated synonymously. And I'm like, bitch, read a dictionary. They mean two different things, you stupid bitch. Like, no, that's not correct. So that was a moment. And then just the objections. In a single hearing, y'all, 47 objections called by Camille Vasquez. That's crazy.
Honestly, she really did the damn thing.
She was completely substantiated in most of them, because I was like, they were the other side, Amber Heard's side, was completely picking at straws.
It just looked to me like Amber Heard's side didn't know what they were doing. Like, it looked like they weren't even like licensed lawyers, to be honest.
And because their client was lying.
Exactly. It just didn't make sense. Also, I do have to say, probably one of my favorite parts was when Amber Heard said that she used a bruise kit. And I died. And I actually, after I watched that part, there was a video on Instagram that this girl was
the TikTok. Yeah, the viral TikTok.
And she was like, you used a bruise kit. And she's like, okay, first of all, because Amber Heard was explaining the steps. And it didn't make sense. First of all, coming from a makeup artist, that's not how you do it. Like, you don't put on your concealer, fucking first, and then it doesn't work like that.
What did she say? She said to cover a bruise, she said foundation.
Then I think concealer, and then bruise kit, which doesn't
make any sense.
In reality, that just means that you created a bruise. You're
creating special effects makeup, is what you're
exactly
doing.
So it just didn't make sense that she made herself look so fucking stupid there. Like, there were so many parts where I was like, you just seem dumb. You just seem super, super, super dumb. And we have to obviously say, it's going everywhere all over Instagram that my dog stepped on a bee. Like, it's going everywhere. I was like, honestly, this whole fucking trial, I felt really bad for Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Speaking of, do you want me to read the statement that he released?
No, we should put it here.
Okay, we'll put it here.
Yeah, let's put it here.
And then I'll read it while it's there on the screen for y'all to also enjoy with us. 6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in me were forever changed. All in a blink of an eye. False, very serious and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it had a seismic impact on my life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of the legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing that I have finally accomplished that. I am and have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and the colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Truth never perishes.
Fuck you, Amber Heard.
That's a very powerful statement.
It is.
That's the first time that I've read that statement, and it actually kind of just sent chills through my body.
I'm just, like, really happy that overall, you know, Johnny Depp really got what... I mean, I don't want to say he got what he deserved, because he didn't even deserve to be in this trial in the first place, but I am happy that everything came to light, and that Amber Heard just... Like, now, from now on, I just feel like Amber Heard just... She fucked her own life up.
She did. There's absolutely, I can tell y'all without any hesitancy, she will never work again. She will quite literally never work again in her life, unfortunately. Not even unfortunately, because you're a terrible person who lied. Her life is sloshed here.
But like that's the thing that, this is what I'm confused about. This is what I'm confused about. I'm confused because, okay, let's say I was in that situation. God forbid, I was in that situation. Why would you make this all public and make this a huge thing, but lie about it, thinking that you would, like, there has to be something mentally wrong up there, because that doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, how would you, I would never do that. Like, like, your life is fully public, and at this point now, you've put yourself in a position where, how did you even think that you would get $100 billion? Like, how did you even think that you would win this against Johnny Depp? How did you even think that, how?
Well, here's also the thing. If she had a better legal team than what was employed at her trial, she could have gotten more money. I don't know that she would have won, because against Johnny Depp's legal team, that was a very, very formidable opponent. Like, they slashed through everything. Like, they decimated the other side.
Yeah, like, that's going down in history, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a huge...
But I think something that's been getting on my mind a lot is just this trial. Like, there's a couple of things that have been on my mind, because I also want to take this time to talk about, like, there's been other tragedies in the news as of recently, which we won't discuss on the podcast because I know that there's trigger warnings for those, and I don't want to bring... I don't want to bring that into y'all's ears for y'all to feel any type of way about. But my whole point is, like, there's two things. Firstly, the lengths at which people will go to in order to protect themselves and protect their names is ludicrous. Like, it's wild to me that she has gone this far, and, like, it's exactly like he said in his statement, like, you had to force the whole world to see our life in order for you, Amber Heard, to, like, still feel that there's a way that you can push these lies in order to hold them as truth.
And it just doesn't make sense, because it's like, it's not like it's just Johnny Depp. He has kids. He has that family. It's like, you're really, you know, also knowing, obviously, they've dated, they've been together for however long. It's like, you obviously know about his past growing up, and that's another thing. It's like, that's why a lot of people were saying all over the internet, they were saying that people feel so much more bad for him because of his, where he comes from, his background with his mom and, you know, with his dad and everything like that. And it's like, in my mind, I think about it and I'm like, I can't wrap my head around why Amber Heard would even put herself in this situation, because to be honest with you, it doesn't make sense. Like, at this point now, any movie that you're in, any show that you're going to be in, anything that you do, nobody's going to want to watch that movie.
She literally, Danielle, is never going to be hired again.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so.
Probably is going to get edited out of that Aquaman 2 movie that apparently
the one that Johnny Depp got her.
Yeah, that one. The one that, because she's only in Aquaman 2 for 10 minutes this time, and Jason Momoa is now petitioning to have her removed from the film entirely. Which
oh, really?
He's petitioning. So I would support that. Yeah, that can be a whole other day where we talk about Jason Momoa.
Yeah, we can talk about Jason Momoa.
The second thing I wanted to say, though, is like, again, there has been a lot happening in the world right now. There is a lot of tragedy and a lot of evil, and the world right now isn't a very hopeful place. But to me, what's very interesting is that this is this is a place and a time where we could be having really meaningful conversations about the violence happening in the world and how we work as a society to not repeat those instances of violence. I just find it interesting that we have, as a world, we have so closely watched this case for the last 6 weeks. But yet there have been mass shootings, and on the news, those only get 3 days. My question is why? And my question is, what is the priority? And that's not something for either of us. That's just a question that I pose in general for everybody to think about. Like, why is it that this is what consumes our attention and our focus when our attention could very well be in other places? And that's not to discredit the evil that happened here. What Johnny Depp went through and this whole case, that is just deeply, deeply traumatizing. But it's just this idea of like, I don't know. It's just...
I know what you mean.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I
like,
totally
it's something that I've been thinking about of like, why is it that this gets our time and the other things that are really affecting other people as well aren't getting the time?
I agree. And it's something that we definitely need to... I think we should not talk about those specific topics, but I think one day we'll kind of make a little episode, of an overall type of thing.
Yeah, we can definitely get into it.
I think we should. I mean, I don't like, both of us, Zach and I, we don't want to talk about certain topics where, it triggers anybody, just like what you said, or it puts somebody on the spot, or it makes a listener or a viewer feel uncomfortable. That's never what we want to do, and we are always going to continue to live by that for the rest of every episode that we do. But there are topics and there are things that should be spoken about to raise awareness to some things. And I think there's a fine line where, it's hard to like not overstep that line. But I think, we'll definitely work on trying to find a way, because I know that both of us want to raise awareness and we want to, just bring to light all of the shitty things going on right now.
Yeah, and I think it's worth having an honest conversation about whether we know the answers or whether we don't.
Yeah.
That's a part of talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have any lingering thoughts or anything else to share on just this case and what happened?
I want to say one last thing.
Yeah.
The trial is over. I don't want to hear no more. I don't want to hear anything much more about it. Like, I'm there now. I'm where it's like, we've all come to the conclusion that Amber Heard is a piece of shit.
Yep.
That Johnny Depp won and deserved that. Okay, no problem. We get it. We love Johnny Depp. I've rewatched the whole Pirates of the Caribbean last week. I'm in there. But I'm at a point now where let's move on. And let's deal with what's happening now.
Yeah, very that. And also to that point, let this man get on with his life.
Yeah, just like there's seriously no need to continue bringing it up. Like, I was out last week, running my errands, and I'm hearing people behind me in the thing talking about the case, and they're like, oh my God, can you believe it? And I'm like you were saying, there are other things happening. It's done now. I think just a couple days ago, it was, they reached a verdict. So now that it's over, let's start focusing on great positive things. It's Pride Month, baby. It's Pride, baby.
It sure is. It sure fucking is.
It's Pride. Like, let's fucking have a good time. There's just so many amazing things. It's summertime. I want to say that being a business owner, it's a great opportunity to be a part of so many pop-ups that are going to be coming out this summer, which not just for me, but for even people that don't own businesses, this is a time to go out, have a good time. There are pop-ups every, excuse my language, fucking weekend. There are parties going on. Caravan is happening. Like, y'all, this is the first summer since how many years that we've all been able to go out with COVID being and just fucking enjoy yourself. Like, let's start focusing on positivity.
That's really the mantra.
I think that's the mantra. Focus on positivity. Go out. Unfortunately, we didn't actually talk about my last pop-up that we just did. We had a huge pop-up We were talking about it the other day, and we're like, we didn't even talk about it, but
we should have promoted it.
We should have promoted it, and we didn't promo it, and that's okay, but thank you so much to everybody that actually came out. It was a crazy, fantastic time. It's been a crazy, crazy week and crazy few weeks for Bib. I have some very juicy news that I will be telling everybody in the next little bit, so definitely stay tuned for that.
And it's really, really exciting.
It's really exciting, so I have some great news that I can't wait to share. But aside from all of that, go out. This is the perfect time. Summertime, we're all finally able to go out. Like I said, go out. I'm not going to tell you anymore, bitch.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you on the streets. Meet me in the streets.
I love that. If I can add even just one more thing, circling back to the case, again, just be mindful of the way that you treat people. Be mindful of individuals around you who might find themselves in these unfortunate situations.
Yeah, it's true.
And this case, I mean, there's a lot going on as far as how it represents abusers, but also how it represents victims. There's a lot of things at play here that I encourage everybody to take a look at the precedents that this case sets. All I know is that having this verdict be the way that it was can prove that if you are in this situation and you know what the truth is and you want to fight for your life and fight for your truth, please speak up and know that there are going to be people who are going to believe you and that the truth can set you free. And with the right people and the right support and with love around you, the truth can be heard. And I think that within this case, that's what came to light. Unfortunately, after 6 years of turmoil for this person, but the fact that he gets to start his life anew is very exciting. And speaking of starting life anew, again, your beautiful point of as much as there is shit happening in the world, y'all, don't forget that you do have this life. You are living in this moment. And as much as we have to give our attention to these times where evil is afoot, also find the joy, find the light, and find those moments where you just get to be you and have fun.
Have fun. Have some fun, bitches.
That was a great mantra. And with that, thanks so much for watching another episode.
Don't forget, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Podbean.
Oh my God, we have so many now.
So many. As well as YouTube to watch us.
As well as YouTube. You can watch us in person. We are almost done our first season. It's crazy. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We're going to make the last episodes they're going to really count. Don't forget, you can also follow both Zach and I on our social media platforms. You can follow Zach Colangelo with 2 H's on Instagram or BIB Cosmetics with a Z at the end. And that's it.
That's it.
I love you guys.
We'll see y'all next week for a Pride episode.
Bye.
Bye.